Presentation. I'll go back into this.
Let the record show that we reconvened at 6:15 PM. With everyone present, I believe Councilman Morris is just out of the room for a minute, and Councilman McFarland will be returning. Next is a public hearing for the 2016 annual budgets for the City of Joliet, Joliet Public Library, and the Foreign Fire Insurance Board. This is a public hearing, so public comments are in order at this time.
Is there anybody wishing to speak about the budget that's been presented? Jim, I think maybe at this point, we should ask the council if there's anything individually they wanted pulled out of the budget to either amend or discuss. And if not, then we should vote on the budget as a whole.
Yes, Mayor. Let me point out first for the public that, as we know, council didn't approve the referendum vote for to increase the real estate transfer tax from $3 to $5, which would have raised $1.1 million. So the latest reiteration, and I think there was a consensus to show a revenue for our ambulance fees. So we have increased our revenue $700,000 to reflect additional income from the increased ambulance fees, and then $400,000 use of reserves to create the balanced budget.
And then, Jim, I believe there's been a compromise that's been discussed about with fire department to keep Station 3 open.
Yes, in order to maintain Station 3 being open, we would continue running the Quint out of Station 9, would require an additional use of $400,000 from our reserves to be able to accomplish that. So if that's the desire of council, that's what we can do.
Mayor.
Yes.
So just to clarify, the first council memo 664-15, this basically is the assessment on the special services. When we get to 2, we're talking about the tax levy amount, and then the actual budget's 3. How would you like to separate that? I'm requesting that council memo 665-15, that we separate the 2 budgets, the one pertaining to the city and the one pertaining to the Joliet Public Library.
Marty, we can vote on all those individually, correct?
Oh, yeah, you probably should.
Okay.
They're just lumped in on the agenda.
Any specific issues about the budget that needs to be vetted or discussed?
Mayor,
Yes.
I don't know if this would pertain to that, and I can save it for later, but I would like Marty to put together an ordinance in the future requiring this council to get the first view or to unveil a preliminary budget by at least the 15th of October every year. That's all I want to suggest. So leading forward, we don't go through this every year, that we get the preliminary budget in October 15th, which gives us more than a month to go through it.
Your Honor, I would just like to vote on the recommendation for the legal department, a separate vote, or pull it out. Good. That's the only thing I have.
You want to discuss it, or?
Well, I think we discussed it before. I just, I don't feel that the outsourcing is going to be cost effective, and that's just the feeling I have, so that's all it is.
Mayor, I think it's appropriate. Right now, we're in the public hearing portion, so it's audience participation at this point. Then you close the public hearing, and then we move on with the agenda, and council can discuss various aspects of the budget.
Any comments from the public? Okay, we can close the public hearing then, move forward.
So moved to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Under ordinances and resolutions, Council Memo 664-15, ordinances for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2015 and ending December 31st, 2015, in and for the 1994 Joliet Special Service Area Number 1 Joliet Commons Shopping Center project, the 1996 Joliet Special Service Area Number 14 Joliet City Center, and the 2009 Joliet Special Service Area Number 7 Park Hill subdivision. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
I just want to clarify, Jim, that none of these levies have increased for these three proposed.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Councilman McFarland.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. So for Council Memo 665-15, it will be split into two separate votes. The first is an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2015 and ending December 31st, 2015 in and for the city of Joliet.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Hugg.
I can't get this one, come up. Aye.
Councilman McFarland.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Motion carried. The second part of Council Memo 665-15 is an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2015 and ending December 31st, 2015 for the Joliet Public Library.
Motion?
So moved.
Any more to it? Wait here. I got it here.
Is this for the whole budget, or are we going to pull anything out?
This is for the library.
For the library.
Library.
I'll second. I'm sorry. I'll second.
Jim, could you explain, please give a little background on the library levy and how it works and what's happening here?
Library.
Well, the libraries have the authority to levy their own taxes, and once they reach a specific level, they need the permission of the city council. I don't know that this even exceeds that, but as a courtesy, the library board has always felt that it's important to present the budget to the city council because they want to work in cooperation with the city and follow along the lines of what we're doing as a city. And last year, they had proposed a 2% increase, and we asked them to hold off for a year. They've got some specific needs in terms of the roof that has leaks and in dire need of repair here in the downtown. And so they're looking for a moderate increase of 3% so that they can make those capital improvements.
So basically, these levy dollars that were, the levy that we're prepared to vote on here on the second half of 665-15, just so the public knows, and I'm sure the council knows, but these are specific for the library, basically the operations, the maintaining of the facilities. What are the levy, what are the additional 2%, the additional 2%? What is that going to be used for?
Again, it'll be for the roof repairs that are needed here in the downtown at that library.
Okay, that's what it's going to be for?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been seconded?
It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman McFarland.
No?
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-1. Council Memo 666-15 is an ordinance approving the 2016 annual budget for the city of Joliet, the Joliet Public Library, and the Foreign Fire Insurance Board.
Can we split these?
There's an issue you want to pull out, but
Yeah, I'm saying all three separate budgets. There's a city budget, there's a library budget, and there's a foreign insurance bond budget.
You just voted on,
We voted on the
Levies.
levy separate, we should vote on the budget separately. The three separate budgets.
all right,
The levies were two separate budgets.
okay?
Okay, so the first is an ordinance approving the 2016 annual budget for the city of Joliet.
How do we do this
I think
now?
you should make a motion if you want to pull that out.
I'd make a motion to pull the legal portion of the budget out.
I'll second it.
I couldn't hear him. The what portion of the budget?
Legal portion of the budget he wants to pull out.
Okay, okay. So it's been motioned and seconded to pull out the legal portion of the budget separately. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No?
Motion carried. So is there a motion to approve the budget for the 2016 City of
Well,
Joliet
Chris, I
portion?
think, let's discuss that issue first, because if that were voted down, then we have to stop tonight's meeting, you guys go back to the drawing board. So, let me make a couple comments. I don't know why this has arisen tonight, literally at the 11th hour, but I know that there was I was approached by a council member before the meeting, so just so I'm clear, there was some concern among the public. The city of Joliet already privatizes many of the legal services. Doing this is not really going to be a change of policy. We're just going to do it across the board. But to be clear, the law firm that I own, I'm a partner in, will not receive any city business. It's a direct violation of the city code of ethics, so it's not possible.
Possible.
No, it's not. It wouldn't be
Unless you
permitted.
don't like being mayor.
Right. So, if that was the issue, other than that, we've discussed it at length. We do believe not only are we going to get better services, it's going to save the city money. The city manager's making the recommendation. Our council agrees. I think we should follow staff. I'm not sure why it's arisen now, but
Your Honor, it had nothing to do with your law firm at all. I give you much more credit than even entertaining that thought, My concern is the outsourcing of jobs, and I just think in-house can do it more efficiently and more economically, and that's totally where I'm at. And it's just that one portion of the budget that I'm concerned
I
about.
understand. And just so we're clear, we aren't paying salary.
I understand.
We aren't paying pension costs. We are not going to pay insurance, and not only insurance for current employees, but insurance for these people for the rest of their lives. So we are going to be saving money. I do think it would be fair, give it a year or two and take a look at it and see whether or not the savings are there. It's something that could always be addressed. But again, I think with what we've talked about in executive session, with the new direction we see the legal department taking, the city manager just basically argued why he thought this was the right way to proceed. I don't want to talk about personnel publicly, but I think it is the right thing to do,
I
so.
understand. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes,
if I may, our attorney has set up some guidelines, and if he could explain those as well, I think that would help some folks understand this better.
In the event that this does go, of course I don't know what's going to happen, but in the event that this does go through, what I did is I put together a City of Joliet, what I'm going to call retention and billing policy for outside counsel, and then I also put together what I'm calling a statement of qualifications from qualified applicants or law firms to provide general legal services to the city of Joliet. And it's rather lengthy. It's actually a total of 14 pages, but it kind of sets through. But just to give you a brief thumbnail sketch of what the proposal is, it's to send this various proposal to various law firms, and there's going to be some preference to Joliet law firms and to secondary Will County and Kendall County law firms, and then send this proposal or request or statement for qualifications from various law firms, and then they will send it back to what I'm going to have as a team look at these to determine whether these law firms or these individual attorneys are qualified or not qualified to handle certain specific legal issues. And if they are qualified, essentially they'll go on a list, and then you just go down in order.
And there will be oversight, and explain that part of it
The
too.
oversight's going to be I call it an evaluation committee.
And is that made up of, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know who it's going to be yet. Who's ever going to be, well, not the mayor.
But the,
Who's ever here next week.
Will it be made up of staff? Will it be made up
Staff.
of council? Council? Is it a committee?
Staff. It'll be staff.
But while we're using these attorneys, we will be evaluating, we'll be reviewing their billing, we'll be
Yeah.
evaluating how well they're doing representing the city, and making decisions on whether or not to continue or go with different firms based on the outcome that we have.
And Mayor, and that's kind of why I came up with the retention and billing policy guidelines. So if whoever these law firms or attorneys are, and if they're not following the city's retention and billing policy guidelines, then of course they're not going to, or they'll be taken off the eligibility list.
You know, and I would add, again, this is nothing new. We've been doing this for years, but we never had this oversight before. So it's going to be done a lot better than that's been done currently or in the past. So credit to Marty Shanahan for coming up with this. We've been sending out millions of dollars of legal work with no oversight. So that's also going to change. Yeah, yes.
Two things. First of all, I would agree.
That's okay. Yeah, I can come
I'm
back
sorry,
to you.
if she wasn't finished, go ahead.
I just want to know, how much of our legal work would you say, what percentage is outsourced already?
Well, it's kind of an ongoing basis. I mean, Evergreen is huge. And there's a couple other cases that we have. Really hard to say.
And earlier you explained to me that some of these firms have more expertise than just a couple of attorneys on staff here, is that correct?
Yes. And I'll just use union negotiations as an easy example. As the person that's doing union negotiations.
So our union negotiations are outsourced by another firm as well? Okay.
And that's someone who's been doing this for years and years, and they have experience dealing with not just, our area, but northern Illinois.
So it's my understanding that it's like a trial. We're gonna try this for a year and see what savings there are, and if not, then if we do bring it back, we'll continue to still outsource union contracts or bring everything back in-house, depending on the cost. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I think it's a wise idea, and I think time will prove it to be. It's no different than our IT department, where we have subcontracted services because not one individual could be expert or master of all disciplines. Scott, like in IT, right? And I think, Mayor, you're an attorney, so are you, Marty. I think the same thing applies. You have certain attorneys who specialize in certain specialties or disciplines within the legal forum, correct? Somebody who's a municipal expert, someone who's a divorce expert, someone who's, So I think what this does is this allows us to work within the budget, maybe save money, or even if it's the same budget, to get an expertise that we're going to benefit from. Now, with that statement said, my question is, if the action stands as it was just voted on, the 7 that voted to take this out, and now we move forward and the budget passes, do we have a legal department?
I'm
What
sorry,
just happened?
do you
Do
have
we have a
what?
legal department?
I think the vote would be for the budget, notwithstanding the legal department, and then the second vote would be, do you want to outsource the legal department, or do you want to, as proposed in the budget, that would be the second
Or do you
vote.
want to continue with in-house counsel?
Well, wouldn't it make more sense to make that vote before you vote on the budget?
It probably would.
I think that was the mayor's point.
Right, if
right.
Councilman
I guess
Turk's
the mayor, yeah.
motion passes, then we have to stop the meeting, and Mr. Hawk and Mr. Gadadi are going to go back and redo the budget again.
Right.
Well, we can move numbers within the legal department to be able to cover those expenses, within the line items of the legal department, as long as you're adopting the total expense for the legal department. And you can still adopt the budget this evening. We'll know the direction that you want us to go, and we'll make those changes and provide you with a copy afterwards.
Any other comments? All the question?
So is there a motion to keep the legal department in-house?
There's
Is that how you would like me
a
to?
motion to remove that from the budget. right?
We voted.
They voted on that. It's to
Yeah,
pull
how
it
you
out.
Voice vote. It was a voice vote.
And
So you need
removed.
an
So we need a
affirmative motion?
We need a motion either to outsource the legal department with the inspector general position, or someone would need to make a motion to keep the legal department in-house, correct, Marty?
Yes.
My motion would be to keep it in-house.
For a second?
Okay, thank you.
Move on.
Yeah. There has been no second, so the motion dies.
I would make a motion to put it back in the budget as presented by City Manager Jim Hock, that we would outsource it.
And I second.
Motion to put back in the budget. So it's a motion and seconded to put the legal department's outsourcing back into the budget. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
No.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman McFarland?
Aye.
Motion carried 8-1. So next we need a motion to approve the budget for the city of Joliet, including the legal department.
So moved.
Second.
I know.
Been motion and seconded to approve the budget. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
No?
Councilman McFarland?
No?
Councilman Morris?
I vote aye, and I also like to thank the mayor and my council members and city managers, Hawk, for working with the fire station as well with the chief. I just like to mention that and also that it's not a Band-Aid, but we will be looking at it very closely, the overtime for the fire department, that it will make it work. But I just like to thank my fellow council members, the mayor, for, the input, and city manager. Thank you.
Motion carried 6-2. Next, we will need a motion to approve the budget for the Joliet Public Library for 2016.
So moved.
Second.
The motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk? Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman McFarland?
Nope.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-1. Next, we need a motion to approve the 2016 annual budget for the Foreign Fire Insurance Board.
So moved.
Second?
It's in motion seconded to approve. Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman McFarland?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Position vacancies, Assistant Corporation Counsel as Inspector General.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I need to mention his name or anything to appoint.
It's up to city manager.
Jim, did you want to?
Well, you just adopted the budget, including this position, and so we are asking you at this point to authorize hiring somebody for that position. So,
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye?
Councilman McFarland?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Motion carried. Deputy City Manager / Economic Development Director.
So moved.
Second?
again, this is a position that was just authorized, the focus of this position being economic development.
Mayor?
Yes.
Just to further clarify briefly, Jim, ultimately, this is really a transition too, because there will be some changes within the Planning and Development Department in time that would allow for two different positions, if you will, to focus. But right now, this is a good bridge from what we've been doing to a more cost-effective way down the road.
Yes.
Okay?
The motion seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman McFarland.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under Mayor, Mayor Odekirk appointments.
None.
Public comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak? They can approach the podium at this time. Seeing none, Mayor and Council comments.
Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to sort of thank
my friends and that have wished me my birthday wishes today. I turned 21 for about the third time again. And so I want to thank them for their well wishes, and sort of a little quote from Mark Twain, and I'll paraphrase. He says, there are two things that happen, 2 days that are very important in your life. The day that you're born, and then the day you find out why you're born. And so I think I found out, Mayor, why I'm born. I love service, and it has been a great honor to be able to be of service to the great residents of Joliet. And so I thank God for that opportunity. The other thing, from my house to your house, we wish you a very happy, safe holiday. And I just want to thank everybody, my council colleagues and staff, for working together. We've had a sort of a tense year, but it goes to show that Joliet is a great city. Joliet is full of great residents, and we all began to work together when the things are tight, and we can continue to do that and make this city great. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, all the good stuff. So thank you.
Not sure if I can top all that, but I do want to thank Jim Hawk and the mayor and the other city council members for the job that they did on the budget. Also, our staff. This budget process really starts from the bottom up. The department heads, and I just want to thank all of them as well. As it was expressed up here by Councilman Morris, I think we were all excited that we were able to keep Station 3 open. However, there is an overtime number there that's been allocated, and Chief, we're going to be counting on you to make sure that you stick to that number. And hopefully we don't have to revisit this, again mid-year. But you've been given an overtime number, and we're counting on you to kind of stick to that as well. But again, I think everyone is encouraged, that we're able to keep the fire station open from a public safety perspective. But there was a cost, and I'm sure you're gonna manage that number well for us. So, in addition to that, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. Thank you, Mayor.
I just wanted to say that I was shocked, just shocked to find out that Councilwoman Gavin was 21. I thought that you were graduating high school come May, and I was going to be invited to the graduation. Other than that, folks,
Larry will get you everywhere.
Yes,
that's it.
Larry will get you.
And understand, she doesn't live in my district. She can't vote for me. Merry Christmas to everyone, and a Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah for those who practice the Jewish faith, and just enjoy your family between now and next year.
I'd also like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and happy birthday, Councilwoman.
Happy birthday, Betty. Again, happy holidays to everyone, to my fellow councilmen, mayor. And will it be okay if Larry wear that tie the rest of next, because he's been in a jovial mood with this tie on, so I want to keep him that way.
Why don't you look at Jim Hawk's tie?
Jim, I saw you
Plugs in.
tie. Yeah, but you've been in a happy, nice mood, so it's the tie we want you. Thank you.
Betty, are we having cake and ice cream for this birthday party of yours, or did I miss that already?
Mayor, did you order my cake?
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry.
Well, happy birthday, Betty, and everybody in Joliet or watching wherever you're watching from. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope it's a prosperous new year for all of us. And sad to see one of the employees, Scott Kinsella, moving on to a different position, and wish you a lot of luck, Scott.
Like Scott.
Well, I jumped the gun last week and gave all my greetings, so I will just say enjoy your families, happy birthday, Betty, and happy New Year to everyone.
I'd just like to wish the mayor and council Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year, along with the city staff and the entire city staff and the citizens of Joliet.
Thank you. Scott, again, good luck. Thank you for your work here in Joliet. Betty, happy birthday. Thank you to our staff, to Jim Hock, Jim Gadati, Marty Shanahan, and thanks to the people who have attended these budget meetings. It's been a long process, but I believe we got a good result. I do want to compliment Councilman Morris for advocating so hard for Station 3, and of course, all the council for the compromise that was reached. I would echo the comments made by Councilman Girl, though. I think the number's a hard number, the $900,000 number. We're expecting that to be lived within. I think ultimately, Chief and Jim, you're going to need to work with the fire unions to make that happen. So I would advocate strongly that everybody come to the table to allow us to stick to that number and allow us to keep everything open. Otherwise, I think the closure is inevitable. So hopefully that's something that could be avoided going forward. But having said that, again, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all Joliet residents. And again, thanks to the council. Looking forward to 2016. It's going to be a good year in Joliet.
Good year.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.